Hey guys, welcome into our day two. We are doing Nutrition 101, nutrition and immunity, and we're starting to lead into this. This is Cinco de Mayo, hence the haircut and the sombrero, but I'm going to get this out of the way so we can actually get into this because this is a far more serious topic than we can really mess around with, because really, when it comes to nutrition and micronutrients and immunity, what you don't know can absolutely compromise your health. And when you're talking about compromising your health, you're talking about an increased risk of death, an increased risk of sickness and illness, and ultimately be running at an inefficient level. So we need to stay healthy with this. We need to really know those key elements of everything. So this is just going to be a quick video today. I want to highlight some of those key things, those transport vessels for getting those nutrients to you as efficiently as possible. But if you want the most information, you're going to want to join us on Monday night at 6:30 p.m. for a live webinar that I'm doing on nutrition specifically. And we're going to take a deep dive on both the advanced plan and the core plan, some of the common myths that people believe that are either not quite true or errantly false. And so we're going to get into that, but let's just talk about some of the most common things. And so the number one thing to recognize with nutrition is that nutrition can't cure you. Nutrition is not a treatment for anything. When Hippocrates said, "Let food be thy medicine," he was talking about, coming from this allopathic model where you treat a symptom with, something that suppresses that symptom. But food doesn't do that. Food is not something that you can treat symptoms with. Food is basically what God designed it to be, is a mechanism for allowing you to have the nutrients that you need, the micronutrients that you need to rebuild yourself. Your body, the intelligence inside of there that runs from your brain down your spinal cord and out the nerves to every organ, cell, and tissue in your body, its job is to replace you cellularly every 3 days to 15 years, depending on the type of cell that you're talking about. Your stomach lining, your intestinal tract, that replaces itself every 3 to 5 days. Your heart and your lungs, they replace themselves every 5 to 10 years, and your bones and your nerves, they replace themselves every 15 to 20 years. And so you think about this, over the course of the average American's life expectancy, we're replacing ourselves about 5 times. And so if we want to be healthy, we actually have to do that at a healthy level. We have to eat the right foods that actually allow that to happen. And from an immune system level, there are certain micronutrients that you need that help to keep that running at a high level. And if you've been tuning into these videos, you've seen me highlight some of these things, but I really want to get into this with you guys today as far as what this concerns. So number one, what we're going to be looking at is the gut immune connection, because when you're talking about the immune system, you're talking about mostly you're talking about bacteria and viruses that are they live inside of you, that their job is to help protect you and keep the, for lack of a better term, bad viruses and bad bacteria from creating an infection. And so that's called our microbiome, or our gut would be the short terminology for that. But that's really, when you think about it at a cellular level, we have more than 36 trillion human cells in our body. We have at least 10 times that in bacteria, and at least 4 times that in viruses. And so these really make up most of our immune system, and 70% of that is housed in the gut. The rest of that is coming on our skin, on our face, and different organs and cells and tissues. And so just taking an antibiotic for an infection can actually suppress your immune system when you're talking about fighting something off, because it goes in there and it doesn't specifically address one bacteria that's gone rogue. It's a broad spectrum antibiotic typically. And so that's where it's important to take a probiotic and come in. And we've talked about that in previous videos. So if you're tuning in for the first time, go back and watch some of these videos, but we want you to have that as a resource. And so from there, talking about the microbiome, we have to recognize the role of sugar in this. Now, sugar is a subcategory of a carbohydrate. And we'll get into carbohydrates versus fats versus proteins on Monday night. But when you're talking about sugar, you're talking about the processed form of a carbohydrate, basically breaking it down to the most basic form of a carbohydrate that is separated out from something like a fiber, a prebiotic or a probiotic fiber that actually will help you to digest and assimilate that sugar in its appropriate levels, protect you from the sugar. Unfortunately, we eat so much sugar in our current culture that it creates a constant state of inflammation that actually kills the good bacteria in our guts and compromises our immune system. Research has found that eating just 100 grams of sugar will suppress your immune system for 4 hours. Now, the average American consumes right now 265 approximately pounds of sugar every single year. You can break that down on a daily basis. That means that we're consuming almost 2/3 pound of sugar a day. And so the way that we're consuming processed foods is suppressing our immune system and making it more likely for us to struggle when it comes to keeping our immune systems running at a high enough level to fight off infections. And so we definitely need to be, looking at cutting out the sugar. Now, the other thing about this is it actually creates advanced glycation end products. And advanced glycation end products, they will actually age you faster. They actually are what's responsible for creating wrinkles in the skin and making skin more brittle. So that's one of those things that we need to be looking at as well. Next thing is, let's take a look at the advanced plan. And just real brief, the advanced plan is for people that are dealing with weight issues, that are having disease, and that need detoxification. So if you've got a diagnosis, or if you know that you're overweight or obese, then this is the plan that's for you. Now, this is very similar what most people recognize or have heard in the media as paleo or the keto diet. This is not the keto diet, and this is not the paleo diet, but it's very similar in its approach because its design is to get you eating whole, real foods, which any good diet is going to get you to do. And then on top of that, we're going to train your body to use fats as the main source of fuel. When your body is trained to do that, it is a more efficient and effective source of fuel than sugar is, and leaves you less hungry than most diets do, the ones that just cut calories. This is not a calorie cutting plan, although if you want to lose weight, we may have to look at portion control and when you're eating throughout the day, but it's designed really to address metabolism and metabolizing then the right forms of foods in their natural state, the way that God designed it. And so that's what it's looking at. And so if you want more information on this, definitely tune in for the Nutrition 101 on Monday night for that more advanced material on that. Next thing that we're looking at when we're talking about the immune system are the things that support immune system health. And one of the best vehicles for getting antioxidants to the immune system is elderberry. Now, most people, when they think about elderberries, they think about elderberry syrup. And so one of the major things that we need to look at when you're considering elderberry syrup is how much sugar is being added to it to create elderberry syrup. Now, most of the good forms of elderberry syrup will actually use a raw honey. Now, honey is mostly fructose, and fructose can be really hard on your liver, so you don't want to overdo this, but it's one of the most dense antioxidant foods on the planet. And so if you're trying to get that in, elderberry syrup is absolutely fantastic at getting that in and helping to shorten the duration and intensity of the symptoms that you're dealing with when you're looking at an infection, something like the flu. Elderberry syrup is fantastic. Garlic is absolutely fantastic as a source of antioxidants as well. Now, garlic is actually best consumed in one of two forms. It's either best consumed cooked in combination with onions. The combination of those two foods actually enables some of those antioxidants to be absorbed more easily, or put into a cold pressed juice. Either way of doing those things actually enables those antioxidants to be more easily absorbed. The oils inside of that, when put into a juice, are fantastic, or when cooked out in the presence of onions, absolutely help to keep the immune system running at a high level. And then the other one is citrus fruits. Now, most of you know that citrus fruits has a high level of vitamin C, one of the most commonly known antioxidants. But what most of you don't realize is that when you're consuming this in a juice form, that it can suppress your immune system because of the amount of sugar that's in citrus fruits. If you're diabetic, you should not overdo citrus fruits. Even with the fibers that are inherent to the whole fruit, there's still a lot of sugar. So citrus fruit, when it's consumed in its whole form, is still good for you. It's a net positive when you're talking about keeping your immune system running at a high level. However, just be on the lookout for those fruit juices, especially a fruit juice cocktail, which is then going to have added sugars on top of removing the fiber away from those natural sugars that will actually create more inflammation in your immune system. So those are the three things that I wanted to go over. If you want more information, then tune in on Monday night at 6:30 p.m. for our live stream of that Nutrition 101. We absolutely want to get you all of those resources necessary. And if you're interested in what supplements you can get to help make sure that you're getting those antioxidants in because of things like soil depletion and the amount of micronutrient density in our food supply, then there will be a discount provided at that webinar on Monday evening. For myself, for my team here at Good Life Family Chiropractic, I thank you for tuning in. You stay blessed, you stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow night for the next video. Tomorrow's Workout Wednesday, so make sure that you watch that and join us in your workout clothes. We'll see you guys next time.